So there's been a little bit of drama, as the Australians say, drama. First of all, our thumbnail comes courtesy of Joe Bagan Reddit. Bagan?
I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Either Bigen?
Yes,
John. Our friend John here came up with a banger thumbnail.
You know what's funny? This might sound facetious to you, but I learned yesterday after looking more into this, Mark's claims that he can overcome Tourette's. He's very careful not to say cure.
Right.
But he now says he can do it in 4 hours, which is kind of on the Mr. Beast level of fixing the eyes.
Right.
Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
God.
So that was exciting. Here's some great memes of the aftermath. Here it is. It was quite a big moment, I think, for the show. I felt that it was a nice moment. Here is another one bites the dust. Here's Carlos before and after.
Right.
Here's Crowder before and after.
Oh no.
And Mark before and after.
Yeah.
I have that effect on people.
You know what? I'm starting to think Bobby Lee was right about you. You're the gotcha guy. Isn't that what he said about you?
He did say I'm the gotcha guy, but I'm not the gotcha guy.
Nah.
I've been a gotcha guy.
Gotcha.
Clearly. But I didn't feel like I was, I guess with him, maybe it was a gotcha, but was never my intention.
Yeah.
I think with all...
Is it really a gotcha? You're here talking about yourself.
No, I think you just slam dunk in these moments. To be
Yeah,
honest.
it's not really
impressive.
a gotcha.
It's impressive to watch.
Jeff was a gotcha. That was the one time with Jeff Wittick with the picture. That was a gotcha.
Gotcha hat.
Gotcha hat.
That was a gotcha.
Yeah. Mark responded on Twitter. By the way, I talked a lot about this and did some real interesting background research yesterday on See You Next Tuesday with our podcast for members.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. It actually derailed when
Podcast with Ethan.
Philip DeFranco accused me of fat shaming him, which I'll talk about after this. But Ethan making people's day. I mean, yeah, this if you do it backwards.
This is how we see you.
Wow.
Look, you know what? This is really nice.
That is funny.
I love this. This is so nice. Look how happy they are in the end. I love that.
Oh, that's wholesome.
That is
so
wholesome.
nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not real. Mark Elliott, he is in damage control. He says, I fell into a trap going on the H3 podcast.
I don't know if it's an...
It was not really a trap. It's like he walked into the ocean.
He slowly walked in the ocean.
Yeah,
and never
like,
came out.
It's not really a trap.
There was
at
no
all.
trap.
Yeah.
Like well, I mean...
It wasn't.
He trapped
Yeah, it
himself.
wasn't.
He
Yeah.
trapped himself.
He walked in. We never misled him at all. He walked in and we said, yes, come on the show.
Yeah, at the beginning of the interview, you misled him by saying like you were a supporter or whatever. But that was after he was already here. He had every opportunity to know beforehand what he was signing up for.
Never, ever, ever do it.
Yeah, and none of our communication prior to the show did we give any indication that we believed a word that he was saying. Or...
I'm actually really proud of how we handled the communication.
Yeah.
Because I do think it was important that we did not deceive him at all. And we didn't. So he said, yes, I fell into a trap going on the H3 podcast. Thanks for the tag. At the end, though, Ethan was afraid to play the video of digital forensic experts talking about the evidence tampering in the U.S. versus Raniere, as it might be too compelling. He ended up playing it, but couldn't resist mocking it. So here he is talking about how he actually had the dub.
So last night I went on the H3 podcast with Ethan Klein, and boy, did I walk into the trap of my life. Ethan called me out at the beginning. He said, you did not do your research. And no, Ethan, I did not do enough research about Ethan Klein, sir. So you definitely got me there.
Okay.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Fair enough.
I don't think we need to watch anymore.
Wait, he's about to maneuver.
The whole thing, they were basically playing me. You know, he was pretending to agree with me about these egregious, crimes that the government committed in the case of U.S. versus Raniere. When in the end, it didn't seem that he agreed with my position with anything. You know, they mocked me. They had ad hominem attacks. All this.
Ad hominem? I didn't do that, did I? What's an ad hominem?
Well,
Like when I attack him instead of his argument.
Yeah.
I didn't do that.
I've never heard that phrase.
I never
Really?
insulted him.
I feel like everyone on that side.
That is one of their favorite
That's
phrases.
their favorite, fresh and fit.
Ad hom-
They
ad
say
hom.
that every argument, fresh and fit. Says
Yeah.
that.
I feel like we were very, very on point with our key argument.
Yeah.
We were engaging fully
Is it ad hominem? Is that it?
Yeah.
ad hominem. Prohoc? Ad hominem?
Uh-uh.
Well, I don't know what prohoc is. I just know it's another fallacy. Attacking the person. This fallacy occurs when instead of addressing someone's argument or position, you irrelevantly attack the person or some aspects of the person who is making the argument. For example, would be someone saying, I'm fat and my wife is ugly, instead of addressing the fact that of what I said about.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm on the receiving end of it all the time, actually, in fact.
This sort of stuff. Even at one point, they were claiming that I was making up my, living with Tourette's for 20 years. It was incredible. But despite, the craziness of the whole thing, what was amazing is that at the end, I asked Ethan to play the YouTube video showing the digital forensic experts talking about how the government tampered with evidence in the case of U.S. versus Raniere. And even with all the disagreements we had on that call, the one thing he agreed with is that he was afraid to play it because he thought it was too compelling.
I think you said it was boring. It was too boring.
Well, I said both.
Yeah, no, I think you did say that at some point.
I was jokingly, he said, why won't you play it?
Ironic.
Actually, do you have this man really that fucking dense, bro?
No.
Is he being
He's doing what of
facetious?
course he's doing. He's twisting it and putting his spin on it.
But it's not even like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
Where's the timestamp where that occurred?
It would be right near the end.
Oh my God, bro, that's crazy.
I mean, we were excited to pull it up because it's really fucking funny that Alan Dershowitz is in it. So that's not really true that we didn't want to show it at all.
Also, one of the guys in it is like, the FBI guy's like an election fraud freak was all in like Dominion voting.
Yeah, I mean that was my assumption too. Is like whenever
just
you hear that kind of
weirdos.
thing.
There's a bunch of weirdos, dude.
I watched the whole video prior when I was doing the research on it, and yeah, my impression was, well, first of all, a lot of the people in the video, their statements are kind of like phrased in such a way that it's kind of vague, almost as if they're responding to a hypothetical.
That's what I noticed when we were watching it. They
Yeah.
were speaking like totally
Yeah. No, I think
unspecific.
I suspect it was the question was posed in such a way, like if the FBI were to have found to have falsified this metadata or whatever, would that be an egregious, infraction on his civil rights? And they're like, that would be a huge infraction. And then boom, that's your soundbite right there.
Look how old and weird they all are. It's like a collection of just old, weird people.
A bunch of pedo defenders.
All right. So listen, we put poor Mark through the ringer. And I do feel like after everything we've been through, I do owe it to him to at least play this video so he can at least not accuse me of thinking that it's too compelling or something. So here it is, guys. I'm just going to play it. It's only 2 minutes long. And let's just listen to what they have to say. Experts versus Keith Raniere.
I worked in the FBI for about 10 years. It is clear that the photos in this case were planted there.
This is the most serious tampering of evidence that I've ever seen.
It's inescapable that the FBI proactively created fake evidence.
Data change while I was in FBI custody, it was modified, it was altered.
25 years digital forensic investigations, 5 of which was with the FBI.
Okay, that is interesting.
Amount of technical ability and premeditation to perform this fraud in the case against Mr. Raniere. I've never seen anything like this.
In my 20 years experience with the FBI, I have never seen...
Okay, we need to look up this guy's reaction because he does make a good point here.
Like this on this scale.
My first bit that Mr. Raniere presented on tampering, I was shocked.
I've never seen anything
This guy was a former Supreme Court Justice of Arkansas, so he is credible.
Wow. I know that is an impressive.
This dude's from the Exonerated Five. Oh, this guy was an attorney for Keith Raniere. Well, that's a little biased. A little biased. Out the Dersh, of course, who we talked about.
Who else did he represent?
Epstein.
Evans.
Yeah, that's the Epstein lawyer.
on manipulation of data. That's just unacceptable.
He's really going on and on too. He's not the most compelling.
Former United States Attorney.
This guy's name is Bud Cummings, so that kind of disqualifies him.
That's imagine being in elementary school, the name Bud Cummings.
But he was a United States attorney.
Yeah, you had a lot to prove with that name.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if anything,
They put in the work.
They can't or they won't. United States Attorney General should appoint an independent prosecutor.
He does have good. He's compelling.
yeah.
There must be accountability. People have to be criminally prosecuted. This is very serious.
Okay, so there, yeah.
It's easy to pretend. I know you're not a fool. You nobody wanna cheat a friend. Who is the shit that not be given. So I know you wanna dance again. The way I dance with you.
All right, I think we get. That's it. So, Mark, I think that just cured my Tourette's.
Yeah.
Mark, we played the whole thing uninterrupted. I will say that there was some good points, some
It's compelling stuff.
So I encourage people to look into it, follow the threads, and they'll.
I think I might sign up for NXIVM.
Right, it's kind of sounding pretty good.
Have a good night. So last night I went on the H3.
Oh fuck! What a weirdo that he said. I admitted. Did you find that? Yeah, watch this timestamp. This is where he says that I had to admit that it was too compelling. Wait. This isn't it. Is it before this?
Sorry, I misunderstood with that timestamp.
2 minutes. I'd be grateful if you play that at least.
He's an advocate. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, here, if you can find the timestamp, I'll open it, but it's going to be a little messy to search live. But, you know, that was fun. You know?
Have a good night.
You as well. You know, we talked about how he was on Theo Vaughn's podcast. And on our members podcast I did yesterday, I was trying to find some interesting material. I was watching them speak, and this part stuck out to me. I thought this was really interesting.
We've been able to replicate with 10 other people with Tourette's.
Get into the program and get better.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, we created a special thing just for people with Tourette's. And this is the crazy thing. So it took me like a year and a half to get down 90%, as I was describing. Guess how fast it's been replicated?
I was saying, I hate when they do this, bro. He's not your fucking pony. He makes some guess. He plays along.
I don't know.
Take one guess.
He says, you have to guess.
That
He
shit
doesn't
is
want to
annoying.
guess. Nobody likes the
doesn't know.
guessing game because it's either too high or too low, and it takes the
He's
fun
like,
out of it.
oh, you idiot. You guessed wrong. You fucking moron. You rube.
Yeah, you were way off, idiot.
Way
Or
off,
way over.
dumbass.
You ruined it. They go, how much? Guess how much this cost? I don't know, $1,000. Bro, you ruined it. It's only $200.
You are wrong.
It's even, it's rough when it's something that's impossible as well.
He has no idea. How's Theo Vaughn going to know how long it took your dumbass to cure Tourette's? Well, here it is.
7.
7.
7 what?
He's doing a joke, bro. Just please. He's trying to salvage your boring ass. Don't make me pull up Subway Surfer.
7 days a week.
I don't know.
Like 7 months?
Yeah, I think so.
4 hours.
Oh, wow. Jesus, man. I hate this.
Oh, wow.
People can get rid of using this, can get rid of
man.
Tourette's in 4
Hold on. No, they can't. They really?
No.
So
he's so funny. I love him.
It's not buying.
He's being really amicable this whole time, but even that claim made Theo Vaughn be like,
Yeah,
what?
he was like, what?
So if you were wondering if this guy's a scam artist or not, he just said he can cure people's Tourette's in 4 hours.
Kid you not, it was probably one of...
That sounds like something I would say.
I'm dead serious. So I want to be really clear. It's not saying anybody can get rid of their Tourette syndrome. I'm saying people that had severe Tourette syndrome, that had tried tons of different things, that deeply wanted to get rid of it and end it for them.
This to me is so obscene how he's like, it only works for people that want to get rid of it.
Right.
It's like, who the fuck wants Tourette's? You didn't really want to get rid of it. It's not happening for you. You got to want it.
You know,
I'm cool walking around screaming the N-word on buses.
It's happening.
The one piece of information that didn't come up during the interview that I wish had was one of the victim impact statements. Here, I'll send it to you right now. Actually was from a victim that went through the Tourette's program.
Ooh.
Yeah, and described it as being like just horribly abusive. And,
Ooh.
Yeah, here. Oh, wait.
Oh, man. You
This
think he'll
is,
come back on? Email him. Say, hey, you want to hop on? Do it.
No. He's not coming back on.
He might. He's desperate for any attention.
Have a good night.
Here's one of the victim impact statements. When I was told I was a candidate for participating in NXIVM's Tourette's study, I believed it was a legitimate medical study, and I was hopeful that this study would help my Tourette's. 4 hours. Clearly, you did not want it.
Yeah, they didn't want it. That was their problem. They have a victim mentality.
I love fucking shaking my head so hard that I have headaches, migraines.
Right.
But I didn't want it enough. I literally giving myself, because I do this shit with my wrists, I'm literally giving myself carpal tunnel.
Ooh, that does suck.
My fucking, my nerves, if I pick something up weird, it's like so painful.
Ooh.
This is happening.
That sucks.
Just give me 4 hours, Mark, please, bro. I want it. In fact, there was no medical screening in advance of participation, and I was given no information about the study or its risk. No one informed me that the study, in fact, required me to take ESP, executive, that's their bullshit.
That's their program, yeah.
Intensives. I had no clue that I was going to be required to take expensive intensives that went from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or that's crazy. Or that as a result, I would be obligated to Claire Brofman. Was that the other guy?
That's the Seagram's heiress person, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, that was like heavily featured in the Vow documentary.
I felt like the weight of the world was on my shoulders because I needed to overcome my Tourette's in order to prove that this treatment worked. I had to resist the urge to tick at all costs, which is exactly what he said it wasn't. Because I was so afraid to tick and mess up the study, which they told me would also mess up a cure for Tourette's and potentially other medical conditions that NXIVM wanted to cure. On 2 occasions while I was in Albany, Nancy and Mark threatened, oh, we're talking about Mark now. They threatened to send me home. They each mentioned that if I don't start acting better and trying harder, I will have wasted thousands of dollars of Claire's money that she had spent on me and their medical experiment. It was scary, but I couldn't show that because showing fear means something is wrong and I need to be fixed. The study these people did nothing for me except ruin my self-esteem, ruin my mental health, and made me hate myself. It did not cure my Tourette's in any way. What?
They just didn't want it enough.
That can't be. You
just didn't want it enough.
Coward. Try harder. I love that actually Mark got brought into this.
Yeah, I read through it and somehow my eyes just skipped right over the fact that that's Mark.
Yeah, Mark's in this. This guy's actually pretty high up. I feel like he's like very high up involved with all these folks.
Right.
Have a good night.
Have a good night. Oh, well, what a piece of shit.
Himself.
I really do wish we had that, but okay, we have it now.
It was in there, but
And
it was just,
also,
the
you know,
whole thing was so freeform. It
was very dense, all the
Yeah.
stuff we had too.
Yeah.
There was just so much.
We went through quite an interview process because we're looking, we were looking for very specific people that, we thought just met a bunch of different conditions that thought, that they would be a good candidate for this. For all of those people, I would say 7 or 8, 2 or 3 out of the 10 are down 70%.
Wow.
And the other 6, 7 are down 90 plus.
Wow.
And what was so neat is that once this
So
started,
neat. It's real interesting to think after reading that victim impact statement that they were just like torturing these people.
Yep.
And like scaring them and brainwashing them that they can't tick or they're fucking gonna be buried alive or something. I don't know.
started happening over the last 4 years. We have this incredible filmmaker who he goes, we got to start filming this. So we started to film it. And so what was so neat is that, you know,
Stop saying neat, bro. It's creeping me out.
I would find someone with Tourette's, or someone would tell me about somebody with Tourette's.
Yeah.
And we would go through this whole process to see if they would be a good candidate. And then once we thought if we had, you know, a good candidate, a film crew would go out to their life, film their whole life with Tourette's. They would come work with us in Albany, beat their Tourette's, and then we would go back into their life and film their life without Tourette syndrome.
Dude, he's full-time in Albany. That was their main headquarters. There's this one point, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but he goes, it's like fat people. They have to really want to lose the weight. Tourette's is the same way. I says, how's that the same? It's a neurological disorder. You could cure, it's like saying you could cure autism if people really want it. You could cure Down syndrome if people really want it. It's like, bro, they're not, it's not fat. It's your fucking brain. Yeah, free my boys, by the way. Mark, I'm with you, brother. Free them all. Free Keith. Here's the exact timestamp of.
From the beginning, it's only a minute.
I'm
of the
afraid that
experts.
it's compelling. Frankly, I don't want. No, I will play it. I'll play it. So it's so obviously a goof.
You can see the fear in your eyes, dude.
I said it because I know that's what he was thinking. He was like, this is so compelling that it's going to change everything.
2 minutes. I'd be grateful if you play that at least.
He's an advocate. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Is this alleged FBI malfeasance?
Yeah. It's awesome. So I guess probably don't watch this. It's 2 hours. But actually, Theo Vaughn has since talked about him being a NXIVM scammer. So, yeah, this was like 5 years ago, man. 2018. So, Jesus Christ. Gun Squad? Just trying to get, Jesus. Very inspiring to have a man who beat Tourette's and a man who beat Down syndrome in the same room talking. Anything is possible. I was just curious what people's reception was. This is a great podcast. I never heard of Mark before, but I started digging and learning about ESP program he cited. Okay, the ESP was run by Keith Raniere, who was arrested for child trafficking. Whoops.
Oops.
Oopsie doopsie. There's more stuff here. This is the guy who made the documentary, who was like the main guy behind the vow. He saw it. He says, I just watched it. Genius. Thank you, Mark.
The good Mark.
Takes one to know one. The good Mark.
The good Mark.
Light side Mark. Raniere's spokesperson, Eduardo, actually responded. He has agents. He's in jail for 120 years, but Eduardo is still out here fighting the good fight. Justice advocate, bringing justice to FBI agents. Crimes in the NXIVM case. You can't beat darkness with darkness. So you're darkness, or he's light.
So were you saying this
Fucking
guy's in
deep,
jail?
dude.
I don't.
No. Raniere's
in jail.
This is his spokesman.
Got it.
Yeah.
Just a couple of days ago, in the conversation I had with Ron Sullivan from Harvard, we were talking about how
which school?
Harvard.
Yo. Okay. All right. Let me
So
listen.
you know he's trustworthy.
Let me listen.
people have facilitated the suppression of due process because we were clapping when the government cheated on someone we didn't like. Funny coincidence, yesterday Mark Elliott, who has been vocal against what the FBI did to NXIVM and Keith Raniere, Mark went on a podcast, it's called H3, I believe, and they basically mocked him. You know, they invited him as a guest, and it was all sort
We
of
did
a
not
trap.
invite him.
Which
He asked.
He reached out to us. Yeah.
make sense why these people hate Keith and they believe what the media says. They seem to be very hateful themselves.
I'm not the media, bro.
We're very
Just for the
hateful.
record.
We're very hateful.
I mean, I own this whole bitch. Ain't nobody pulling strings.
We do hate pedophiles, though, which.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
Keith
fair.
Raniere.
Oh, don't be so hateful, Cab.
I don't know, man.
Stop being so hateful. You
we
have
need,
too much
we
hate
need
in
to
your
start in the words of Kanye, we need to stop dissing pedophiles all the time.
Stop dissing the Nazis
We never
all
really
the time.
honed in on this. It makes me think on his website what he stands for.
I
Human
stand for-
decency for even the most hated, the canceled, the Me Too'd men, the accused, anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers.
These are not the most hated people in the world, just for the
Well,
record.
watch it. I love the escalation. I love anti-vaxxers, the arrested, just general.
Just everyone
who's ever been arrested.
All of them?
Yep. And then Trump, Biden, LGBT people.
LGBT people.
They're not the most
And
hated
minorities.
minorities.
All
just all minorities. Left-wingers, right-wingers. Someone who said the wrong thing. Someone who said or wore the wrong thing. Keith Raniere.
Keith Raniere.
No. Insert who's next.
It's like y'all are so dumb. You can't even mask what this is all about.
I hate pedophiles. I dare you to put that next to your face, Mark. Put that
Yeah.
on the list there.
Yeah, just put that on the list.
I mean, he clearly does stand for pedophiles if he's running.
He's
defense
literally
for-
standing for it.
What's interesting is he says the most hated and then put like basically
I think almost everyone in the country would fall into one of those categories.
totally redeemable, debatable stuff. But like the one thing that everybody agrees on is like child predators, and he didn't actually put that on the list, which is what Keith.
Well,
went to
but
jail
Mark's
for.
name was on, or Keith's name was on there, so by proxy.
So here is Eduardo.
And they started doing what I was discussing with Ron. They started mocking, and they're seeing evidence of the FBI cheating. They're seeing the best cyber experts in the world saying,
"Dude, there's literally no evidence. You showed no evidence. It's just a bunch of talking heads being like, can you believe how corrupt the FBI is? There's no evidence. What are you guys talking about? Show me evidence." Oh, you goes, oh, the timestamp was that metadata was changed. Okay, show it to me. And also, I don't care because he did a lot of other shit other than that hard drive.
saying it, and they're mocking them, cheering at the destruction of the republic, so to speak. So it was unfortunate
republic?
to find that that's what's going on, as we hypothesized. Again, I believe that this is the devil turning around on us. So brave from Mark Elliott, and good job.
Good job.
He nailed it. Absolutely.
This is
crushed
a
it,
good job. Y'all need better spokesmen, man. Next team is
Good
nothing
work.
without Keith. You guys need a cult leader.
Look at the replies to see how this message was received.
Let's see. Matt Gates from Wish. This you, bro? What's wrong with this?
I don't know.
Let's see. More replies. Oh, look, another Raniere hanger on who needs to be deprogrammed. Try
me.
What does that mean? What are we trying?
Deprogramming him, I guess.
What's your name? He goes, try deprogramming you? No, that position is better left for medical professionals. He goes, what's your name? Bro's trying to recruit in Twitter replies.
What's your name? Wow.
He goes, I don't divulge personal information to cult members. Sorry. You just divulged others' info publicly? I suspected it. Another anonymous chicken. He's really in the weeds here. Your boy Mark got owned. Don't know why you'd cover for someone who's obviously racist. Racist? I don't know why they...
Well, if you believe that he was faking Tourette's to say the N-word, I guess you could say he's racist.
I don't know.
Supposedly he supported Kanye when he was being canceled.
Because
Of course, he's
supports-
he's canceled, and therefore
he stands
by
with
default
everybody.
position of every single person is to support them.
The arrested.
Yeah.
So we love them. He also tweeted something out. If you want to call in, dude, Eduardo, do you want to call in? Like genuinely, come in. You know who we are now. It's not a trap. Call in, Eduardo. Call in. I dare you to call in. Somebody reach out to Eduardo. You can call him right now. It's live.
I don't know. By the time this comes back around to him, we'll probably be over this whole thing.
Just like Ron Sullivan explained a few days ago, the podcast H3 clapped at government corruption and mocked Mark Elliott for trying to expose it.
Yep.
What is this?
We as a people.
What the fuck is all this crap? It's all so like weird, seedy shit. Like it's all been recorded on a web camera.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying
We'll have
about
to
that compilation they put together. It was all on Zoom. And it
Cameo
really just
shit.
made me wonder if they like called a lawyer to ask some legal questions and just recorded it and put that on there.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was all pretty interesting. I was posted in Cult Watch apparently. This is I wanted to give a crossover shout out over at the NXIVM case. They have longed for someone to call out Mark Elliott's bullshit claim that Tourette's can be cured. Raniere didn't discover shit. It's a well-known that shame and abuse can force people to hide their traits. I didn't know that. Shame and abuse? Well, it sounds like that's what they were doing. But anyway,
Based on that victim statement, yeah, it sounded like they were like like if you don't,
you're ruining everything.
You're ruining our lives if you don't cure your Tourette's.
Yeah, so there it is. Lots of going on there. A lot of people were saying maybe this is why Mark thought I was pro Andrew Tate. And he did address his email to Dear H3 Podcast Highlights.
This was his research.
Oopsie.
So I was wrong about Andrew Tate, and then there's another one here. Why I changed my mind on Andrew Tate. Clearly did not click the videos, but
It's so funny.
clickbaiting backfired on it in his case.